A transfer agreement is signed between KCTCS and Alice Lloyd College. And West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin leaves the Democratic Party and goes independent.
Plus, after a stretch of awesome weather, some changes are on the way by this weekend. Your forecast coming up as Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Officials with Alice Lloyd College in Knott County and KCTCS are working to better serve students. WYMT's RJ Johnson tells us more about a new partnership.
A transfer agreement was signed between KCTCS and Alice Lloyd College for students seeking higher education. Officials met on Friday to celebrate the partnership. Students will be able to transfer up to 90 credit hours from each of the 16 community and technical colleges. Dr. Renee Wagner says the partnership is great for the two schools.
We were really excited to get the partnership going. Their team was amazing to work with, but we just thought it was super important because we share a common mission to help underserved students have an opportunity for higher education.
Alice Lloyd officials say the partnership will also be good for students looking to stay in the mountains for their education. In Knott County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Hear from Alice Lloyd officials and transfer alumnus on the impact this will have on students tonight at 6. For the very first time, folks are trying to make the bluegrass green. Bluegrass Green Source's inaugural Green Business Innovation Forum invites business organizations to experience panels, breakout groups, and networking to brainstorm ways to be more sustainable in workplace practices and explore zero waste solutions. Executive Director Amy Soner explained that at the core of the event is the desire to connect with businesses of all sizes to meet their needs and inform employees.
If you're a small business, you want to do the right thing, but you're so stretched with money. We want to make sure that you have the resources and the tools that you can understand that you can make a big difference. If you're a big business, they have these big, large global goals, but a lot of times their employees don't even understand the carbon cycle or what a carbon footprint is.
The sold-out event ends today at 5. Keynote speakers included Chef Oida Michael. She discussed sustainable practices in unconventional workspaces such as restaurants.
Well, be sure to enjoy the really nice weather on this Friday because we are tracking some changes as we go into the first weekend of June. But for now, let's take a live look from across the region, from Buffalo Mountain, also from the London Corbin airports, and from I-64 over in Rowan County, and from downtown Pikeville, tracking plenty of sunshine and warmer weather on this Friday. Most of us right now in the middle to upper 70s, up to 78 for Harlan, up to 77 for Hazard, also in Irvin and Grundy, and up to 79 degrees for Pulaski County, also in Clay County at this hour. Up on first alert, pinpoint Doppler tracking some dry weather, and that calm weather will continue, all thanks to high pressure that is sitting over parts of Ohio, also Pennsylvania on this Friday. And this weather system will bring some more calm weather in the short term. So again, be sure to enjoy that. Those lows not as chilly as last night. To wake up in the morning, most of us see middle to possibly lower 50s in some areas, possibly a few upper 40s in those cooler pockets. But for most, we see middle 50s under a partly cloudy sky to go into tonight. But again, those rain chances are knocking on the door, timing out those rain chances, plus some warmer weather coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin announced today he has switched his party registration from Democratic to Independent. The state senior senator announced he will not run for Senate re-election last year. And WYMT's Washington News Bureau correspondent Brendan Cullerton breaks down the most recent decision.
Senator Joe Manchin says national politics are broken and neither party is willing to compromise. Manchin says switching to an independent will allow him to put the country before a party. Manchin is expected to caucus with Democrats for the remainder of his term, allowing the party to maintain its 51-49 edge in the U.S. Senate. The move comes in time for the 76-year-old to run as an independent in the November elections, with the possibility of a run for governor or senator, despite saying he will not seek another term in the Senate. Manchin has served in the Senate since 2010 as one of the most moderate Democrats in the country. During his time in office, West Virginia has flipped from blue to red. After announcing he would not seek Senate re-election, Manchin was initially considered as a third-party option for president. But in February, he announced he did not want to play spoiler in that election. In Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.
The 28-year-old son of the co-founder of a major convenience store chain is facing multiple felony charges. Mitchell Wasick is the son of Don Wasick, who started the Buc-ee's chain with Arch Applin in 1982. Texas authorities have accused Mitchell of recording guests at several Texas homes owned by the Wasick family. Police identified 13 different people recorded. None of these counts involved the popular convenience store's bathrooms. Now to a major shift in U.S. policy in the war in Ukraine. It comes as the Ukrainian army faces growing pressure in the northeast of the country. The Ukrainians have now been given permission to use American-made weapons for limited strikes on Russian soil. CBS's Holly Williams has the story.
President Biden's given Ukraine the green light to use U.S.-supplied weapons to strike inside Russia's borders.
We're always learning and we're always making determinations about what's necessary to make sure that Ukraine can effectively continue to defend itself, and will continue to do that.
But there are conditions. Ukraine's now permitted to fire American-supplied weapons into Russia at forces that are attacking or preparing to attack in the region close to the Ukrainian city of Kharkiv, a U.S. official told CBS News. Though that does not extend to ATACMS, U.S. missiles with a range of up to 190 miles. Still, it's a major shift. The U.S. has provided more than $50 billion in military assistance to Ukraine since Russia invaded in 2022. But has previously refused to allow the Ukrainians to use American weapons outside its borders. Worried about escalating the conflict. The White House restated that position just 3 days ago.
We don't encourage or enable the use of U.S.-supplied weapons to strike inside Russia.
But this month, Russia launched a deadly new offensive around Kharkiv, raising fears that Ukraine's second-largest city could fall. Despite the U.S. government's limited, calibrated approach, a senior Russian official responded today saying NATO countries that supply long-range weapons to Ukraine are already participating in a war with Russia, and he reiterated Russia's threat to use tactical nuclear weapons against Ukraine. Holly Williams, CBS News, London.
Coming up on First at 4, as the economy continues to fluctuate, some retirees are returning to work to help make ends meet. We take a closer look at some factors contributing to that trend.
Plus, we stay cool and calm to close out your Friday, but rain chances are knocking on the door. Those details coming up.